Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 11th of January. Pakistan not serious about dialogue offer, trying to mainstream terror, says India. Third candidate registers name for presidential elections in Afghanistan. And India's Prayagraj city gears up for world's largest religious gathering. And now for all the details. India on Friday slammed Pakistan for its statement that New Delhi was not responding to its peace overtures. India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said there was no seriousness in Islamabad's offer for talks as it continued to extend explicit support to terror organizations and was now trying to mainstream them.
India's Foreign Ministry on Friday slammed Pakistan for no seriousness in its offer for talks as it continued to extend explicit support to terror organizations and was now trying to mainstream them. India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar posed questions to Pakistan to hit out at the country for supporting terrorism and allowing terrorists to use its soil for targeting other nations. India's sharp reaction comes days after Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan accused it of not responding to his peace overtures.
सबसे पहला ये कि जब वो बोलते हैं कि वो बातचीत के लिए तैयार हैं तो उनके मंत्री जो हैं वहाँ के टेररिस्ट के साथ जो इंटरनेशनल डेजिग्नेटेड टेररिस्ट हैं उनके साथ प्लेटफॉर्म क्यों शेयर कर रहे हैं और आपको पता है कि पिछले 6 महीने में कितने सारे ऐसे इंस्टेंसेस हुए हैं जब उनके मंत्रियों ने ऐसे लोगों के साथ प्लेटफॉर्म शेयर किया है जैसे अभी हाल में
Kumar also cited some instances such as Pakistan's Religious Affairs Minister Noorul Haq Qadri sharing a public platform with UN-designated terrorist Hafiz Saeed in September, where both of them made anti-India statements. Hafiz Saeed, the co-founder of Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba terror group, is blamed by the US and India for 2008 Mumbai attacks that killed 166 people, including 6 Americans. India has long demanded action against Pakistan-based terror groups responsible for the Mumbai attacks and the 2016 Pathankot Air Force Station attack.
Malaysia's ruling party leader Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Thursday said the new world order must be multifaceted and collaborative and not simply competitive. He made the remarks while addressing the Raisina Dialogue, a multilateral conference in Indian capital New Delhi.
Malaysia's ruling party leader Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Thursday said the new world order must be multifaceted and collaborative and not simply competitive. Addressing a valedictory speech at the closing ceremony of the Raisina Dialogue 2019 in New Delhi, the Malaysian lawmaker condemned identity politics and accused it of creating an environment of violence and unrest. During the ceremony, Ibrahim also said he has been visiting India for over 4 decades, during which he learned what it means to be part of such a rich civilization.
We have seen 9/11 and its aftermath in the war on terror. We have endured misguided wars in Iraq and Libya, a never-ending campaign in Afghanistan, the consequences of which are wreaking havoc across the region and the world. We saw the rise of the surveillance state and the erosion of civil liberties.
Every year, global leaders in policy, business, media and civil society are hosted at the multilateral conference in New Delhi, committed to addressing the most challenging issues facing the global community. The 4th Raisina Dialogue witnessed participation of over 1,800 individuals, including more than 600 delegates and speakers from 92 countries.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's federal cabinet on Thursday deferred its decision on removal of top leaders of Pakistan People's Party, including Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and Sindh Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah's names from the exit control list. The cabinet said the politicians have severe allegations against them in relation to cases of money laundering and fake bank accounts.
The Pakistan government has decided to continue the travel ban on Pakistan People's Party or PPP stalwarts, including Asif Ali Zardari, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Faryal Talpur and Sindh Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah. The decision was made at a federal cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Imran Khan at his office on Thursday. The cabinet in its meeting on December 27th had decided to place names of 172 suspects of the fake bank accounts and money laundering cases, including the top PPP leaders on the exit control list. The Supreme Court, which is monitoring the case, had however expressed surprise on December 31st over placing of the names of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and Murad Ali Shah on the ECL and ordered the government to review the decision. On Thursday, while presenting its report during the cabinet meeting, a special committee of the Interior Ministry also recommended removal of 20 names from the ECL, including those of PPP leaders. However, Prime Minister Khan and his team rejected the recommendations and decided that the names of the top leaders of the PPP would remain on the ECL.
In news from Afghanistan, as the registration process for the upcoming polls in Afghanistan continues, Syed Nurullah Jalili has registered himself as the third presidential candidate. Jalili, while completing the registration process on Thursday, said that he aims to improve the national economy and wants to revive the deteriorating security in the country.
Syed Nurullah Jalili of Afghanistan has registered himself as the third presidential candidate in the country's upcoming presidential elections scheduled for July 20th. Jalili, who completed his registration process on Thursday, told local media he aims to take solid programs towards reviving Afghanistan's deteriorating security and improve the national economy. He added there is no other option to improve the current situation of the country.
برگشت از این راه 18 سالی که ما پیمودیم ممکن نیست. انتخابات یک خط سرخ است. بدون انتخابات هیچ حکومت مردم افغانستان قبول نمی‌کنند و مردم افغانستان باید با مسئولیت رای خود استعمال کنند و به کسی رای بدن که افغانستان از این حالت نجات بده. به هیچ وجه حکومت‌های ائتلافی، حکومت‌های انتقالی به هیچ وجه دیگر قابل قبول نیست.
Meanwhile, the Independent Election Commission or IEC of Afghanistan said it expects more personalities to register as presidential candidates next week. According to the poll body, the registration process will continue until January 20th.
More on news from Afghanistan. Afghanistan, with more than 100 cases of violence against journalists, has been ranked as one of the most dangerous countries for journalists in 2018. This comes at a time when the Taliban last week executed an Afghan journalist, marking the first killing of a journalist in 2019.
Officials from Journalist Safety Committee on Thursday said that Afghanistan, with 120 cases of violence against journalists, has been ranked one of the most dangerous countries for journalists in 2018. According to the Afghan journalist community, security threats and lack of access to information continue to impede activities for reporting. Cases of violence against journalists in 2018 included 17 cases of murder and others mainly of beatings, intimidation and kidnapping.
حکومت افغانستان و کسایی که به حکومت افغانستان کار میکنن در رده دوم قرار گرفته و اونا مسئولیت 44 مورد خشونت و تهدید علیه خبرنگاران را به عهده دارند.
This comes at a time when the Taliban on January 5 executed Afghan journalist Javed Nouri. The killing marks the first of a journalist in Afghanistan in 2019. With a total of 15 journalists killed, Afghanistan is ranked 118th out of 180 countries in Reporters Without Borders 2018 World Press Freedom Index.
Moving on to news from Nepal. The Indian Embassy in Nepal on Thursday celebrated World Hindi Day in its capital Kathmandu city, in which more than 15 poets presented their compositions in Hindi and Nepali languages. January 10th is celebrated as World Hindi Day to promote the language at the global stage.
The Indian Embassy in Nepal on Thursday organized a program in Nepal's capital city Kathmandu to mark the celebrations of Vishwa Hindi Divas or World Hindi Day. As part of the celebrations, a poetry recitation session was organized in which more than 15 poets presented their compositions in Hindi and Nepali languages. The event, which was attended by more than 200 dignitaries, also witnessed the presentation of musical rendition of works of prominent Hindi poets by local artists of Nepal.
हिंदी का स्तर नेचुरली जैसे लोग कहेंगे बहुत ऊंचे लेवल पर है, हमारे ही लेवल पर है, उससे भी आगे आप लोग कहीं अध्ययन करते हैं, कहीं और चीजें लिखते हैं आपके लेख लिखन में.
The World Hindi Day is celebrated to promote the language at the global stage, marking the anniversary of first World Hindi Conference which was held in 1975. Over the years, the language migrated from India to other countries such as Mauritius, Fiji and Nepal. Hindi is spoken by 250 million people as the original language, and it ranks as the fourth most spoken language across the world.
Thousands of devotees hailing from different religious faiths on Thursday gathered at a famous shrine of a Sufi saint in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province to observe his death anniversary. Sufi saints are revered the most in the province, where Sufism is a way of life for a vast majority of people.
Thousands of devotees on Thursday thronged the shrine of Sufi Saint Nanga Baji Sahib in Rajouri district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province to pay their respects on his Urs or death anniversary. Sitting on a high chair during the Urs celebrations of his grandfather, Sufi Saint Sayyid Muzaffar Hussain Shahbazi recited verses of the Holy Quran to the devotees. The followers of the Sufi saint believe that his blessings work as medicine for their ailments. The blessings are served in form of langar, a grand meal for his devotees who come a long way to offer prayers to their beloved master.
कि इस जगह में आने के बाद कभी किसी के लिए मज़हब व मिल्लत कौम और नाम के पर कभी बरादरी को तकसीम नहीं किया गया। इस जगह से यही मैसेज जाता है कि हर आदमी आए और बैठ के जब वो लंगर खाते हैं, इस लंगर में इतनी शफायाबी है कि इंशाअल्लाह कोई भी आदमी अपने दिल से कभी ये नहीं कह सकता और ना कभी गमान में सोच सकता है कि मुझे इस जगह से खाली जाना पड़ेगा।
हर साल आते हैं, मैं भी हर साल आता हूँ और यहाँ पर जो बाजी साहब किबला बाजी साहब हैं और सभी को दवाई वगैरह भी देते हैं, अच्छी तरह से वो आदमी ठीक होकर जाते हैं। कोई कैंसर का मरीज है, दूर दिल्ली से भी आते हैं, जम्मू से भी आते हैं और कश्मीर से भी आते हैं और जितने भी लोग हैं यहाँ से ठीक होकर जाते हैं।
Sufi saints are revered the most in hilly province of Jammu and Kashmir. It was in 1400 AD that the wandering Sufis arrived in Kashmir and Sufism became the way of life for the majority of the people in the valley.
Authorities in India's holy Prayagraj city have been giving final touches to the arrangements being made for hosting millions of people in the Kumbh Fair, the world's largest religious gathering. Temporary bridges, mass kitchens and vast tents have been erected in the city to host devotees and tourists from January 15.
With just a few days left for the beginning of the Kumbh Fair, the world's largest religious gathering, authorities in India's northern Prayagraj city have been giving final touches to the arrangements being made to host millions of devotees and tourists. The organizers have erected temporary bridges, 600 mass kitchens, more than 100,000 portable toilets and vast tents, having a capacity of providing sleeping space to thousands of pilgrims at a time. Hundreds of Hindu seers and devotees have already arrived in the city to take a holy dip in the confluence of three sacred rivers, Ganges, Yamuna and Saraswati.
फिर यहाँ आस्था में सब खत्म हो जाता है, ना सर्दी लगती है, ना गर्मी लगती है, ना भीड़ की वो होती है, ना भूख लगती है। बस आस्था में यही लगता है कि गंगा जी में संगम में स्नान किया जाए, सबसे बड़ी चीज़।
बस यहाँ डुबकी लगाने से सारी परेशानियाँ शारीरिक मानसिक सब दूर हो जाती हैं।
The Kumbh Fair, which is more than 2000 years old, is a meeting point for Hindu seers, some of whom live in forests or Himalayan caves and come out only during this period. The fair is traditionally held every 3 years in one of 4 cities of Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain and Nasik.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.